Hey everybody, Rob Veno here, WagerTalk TV here with your free play with analysis for Monday, January the 13th already. My goodness, it goes by quick. We're going to go NBA style here today. Take a look first off at this Detroit at New York Knicks game. Let me just stop quickly here first, though, to tell you about the WagerTalk special offer that's taking place right now and I believe expires tomorrow. So you want to jump in quick. It's an NFL playoff special. You can save 25% off the entirety of the NFL playoff season, running right through the Super Bowl. Get every selection, even 5% selections that are released during this time period. It usually costs $149. You can save 25% off of that number right now. So go ahead and pick it up. The NFL playoff special, it's in full swing. And we got a big game here tonight as well with the Vikings and Rams. So once again, WagerTalk NFL playoff special, 25% off. Good through tomorrow. 149, knock 25% off of that. Get everything through the Super Bowl. Let's get to the Detroit, New York game here quickly. And take a look here first at the schedule. This scheduling situation favors the Knicks. The Pistons had yesterday off. They traveled a short distance from Detroit to New York yesterday. Like I say, had the day off. The Knicks, on the other hand, were playing their third and four night, or they'll play their third and four nights, but they were playing the first of a back-to-back against Milwaukee. And the Knicks had stumbled into this game and played really well yesterday, 140 to 106. So now they're in the second of back-to-backs, third and four nights, fourth and six if you want to drag it out even further. But I think the scheduling advantage here lies in the back-to-backs and the 3 and 4, and the fact that the Knicks' intensity level yesterday was off the charts. They wanted that game. Like I say, they had stumbled in. They played really, really well. There could be a little sense of concern that they can't reach that intensity level, that energy level, focus level, whatever you want to call it, here tonight as a favorite and a sizable one against the Detroit Pistons. So I think Detroit rested and ready. New York may be a little bit fatigued. We'll see if the scheduling situation does favor Detroit. The current form, obviously, it's being talked about quite a bit right now. The Pistons are on a roll, 11-5 straight up over their last 16. They've covered 10 of those last 16. That's 62.5%. And better yet, they're 7-2 as underdogs during this particular stretch. An additional side note to that goes somewhat unnoticed, Detroit very quietly has gone 12-4 over their team total in these 16 games, 4-2 without starting shooting guard Jaden Ivey. So they've been a pretty high-scoring team, or at least they've exceeded odds makers' expectations with their team total is concerned during this streak as well. The Knicks, until yesterday, they were in a 5-game funk, 1-4 straight up. Those losses, by the way, in those 4 or 5 were by 10, 9, 13, and 25. Granted, 2 were to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They were blowouts, but they were to the Thunder. But the other 2, the Knicks lost at home to a shorthanded Orlando team, and then they lost by 13 at Chicago. So they hadn't been playing well. You could view yesterday potentially as a corner-turning game for the Knicks. But the higher probability is that it was a sense of urgency game for New York. Due to the opponent somewhat, they wanted to beat a playoff caliber roster, and they did so, 140 to 106. Final look in this game. The one key here is the health status of Jalen Brunson. Left yesterday's game with a shoulder injury, came back, scored 44, looked really well, but there is a possibility that the Knicks would rest him here tonight in this game. And even if he does play, to reach the same level that he played at yesterday, I think is highly unlikely. The Pistons offense is really hot right now. Cade Cunningham, a guy that's, again, being talked about quite a bit, playing at an all-star caliber. And New York's defense, over the last 5 games, they ranked 23rd in the NBA. So even as slow as the Knicks play, they're still giving up a lot of points in these last 5 games. Bodes well for a hot Detroit offense. The Pistons aren't a Greyhound-style team. They're not going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. But I think they'll try and test the Knicks here, see if their legs are underneath them. The Knicks do play again at that extreme slow pace, so it doesn't allow you to do it all game. But the Pistons will take their shots. To me, the points look a little bit high here. 8-point number, Pistons 7-2 as dogs during this hot stretch, rested, everything I've mentioned here. You put it all together, and it comes out to a free play with Detroit plus the 8 on the way out. I'd like to ask everybody to hit the like button if you like the selections and analysis given here each and every day by a multitude of WagerTalk handicappers, then please hit the like button, hit subscribe, join the 192,000 plus people that already have. If you have a comment on this game or any game on the slate tonight, go ahead and drop it in there. I try to answer them as quickly as I can. We're going to look at the Memphis-Houston game. And in this particular contest, obviously a elite level contest, both teams at full strength here, both teams playoff caliber, both teams playing pretty well at this current point, and Memphis with Ja Morant back now for his third game since a shoulder injury. It's a quick turnaround spot for these teams who played in Memphis last Thursday. It was Ja's first game back after the 5-game absence with the shoulder injury. Memphis came close. They lose 119 to 115 in that one. There's a double revenge angle here for the Memphis Grizzlies. They also lost back in October to Houston by 20. So for Memphis, a little something to prove here that they could beat Houston. Now they come into this game off of a crazy 127-125 win on the road the other night where Ja Morant took over and wound up winning the game against Minnesota. They trailed, I believe, 125-121 with about a minute left. Just put the ball in Ja's hands, and next thing you know, they came up a winner. Some of his patented work around the rim and short jump shot stuff. So Memphis comes in on a high. They had yesterday off. Houston yesterday off. There's really no scheduling advantage for either team here. I think the only thing that exists from a situational standpoint is the fact that Memphis would love to get back at Houston. This game, however, is in Houston, where they've been tough. Very difficult to step in front of the Houston Rockets at home this season. Some of the keys to what's going on here between these two this year. Memphis, obviously well-known factor, the number one tempo team in the NBA. They kind of battled the Chicago Bulls back and forth for that honor. But that tempo hasn't really affected Houston in either one of these games. Houston's obviously won them both. What's affected Memphis that Houston does well, Houston's a number one paint field goal percentage defense in the NBA. Just to break it down quickly, Memphis loves to attack the rim. Houston defends the rim better than anybody in the NBA at this point, at least field goal percentage-wise. When you get into the paint, you don't score against the Houston Rockets. Houston's number one in second chance points allowed. Memphis just can't put it up, get to the boards, and get rebounds and score. It's difficult. Houston's number three in points per game allowed. Memphis thrives on high-scoring efforts. And Houston's number three defending the fast break. They allow the third fewest fast break points per game. So all of the things that Memphis does well, exceptionally well, Houston kind of neutralizes. And it's allowed Houston to basically just outscore Memphis in these two games. Obviously, the 20-point win, Houston got, I think, to 128 in that game. Memphis's defense certainly nowhere near the level of Houston's this year. And that's been the difference. Honestly, Memphis is still able to score their points. They just can't outscore Houston the way they can outscore most. In this game, Memphis is probably going to have to shoot some threes. They're not a good three-point shooting team, but Desmond Bane can get hot at any time. They've got a couple of guys. Jaren Jackson Jr., by the way, a little bit under the radar, how great he's been playing as of late. So Memphis has all their components going. Can they win a second straight on the road against a playoff caliber team and against a team that they haven't defeated all season long? Just to put a bow or a ribbon on that game that was played last Thursday, Memphis at home outshot Houston 50% to 42.7%. The Rockets missed 17 free throws as well, and they still won the game. That kind of builds a great case for the Houston Rockets, but I'm going to somewhat go the opposite way here. And I'm going to take a look at the Memphis team total. Despite everything I said about Houston being able to neutralize what Memphis does best, Memphis is always good enough to at least get near their share against this team, over their share against other teams. Here, the team total I saw was 116.5, maybe some 117s out there. But for Memphis to get to 118 in this situation with all their players healthy, I don't think is a big ask. They'll definitely run. Houston will run with them. They don't shy away from it. And I think just the volume of shot opportunities, the volume of free throws that we saw in the last game certainly suggests that Memphis, which got 115, by the way, last Thursday night with Ja back in his very first game and on that minutes restriction. I think to ask them to score 3 more here tonight, not really that much. They just got 127 against a very good Minnesota defense. That's the way we're going to play it here. Free play, Memphis team total over. I'll use 117 here on the show, but I'm pretty sure you can buy 116 and halves out there. It's still early here in the day. On the way out, I'd like to ask everybody to hit the like button. If you like what you see here, the selections, the analysis from all the WagerTalk handicappers, please hit the like button. Join the 192 plus thousand that have already subscribed to WagerTalk TV. If you have a comment on this game or any other game on the slate, go ahead and drop it in there. I try to answer them as quickly as I can. But for now, this is Rob Veno saying good luck with all your plays. We'll see you next time on WagerTalk TV.